Hey up, it's me again. I'm just, oh dear. I'm just going to take a short walk around the outskirts of Chesterfield town centre, and then I'm going to go up into town to see my pals Jackie, Glyn, Linda and sundry other people. But at the moment I'm on what's called Union Walk with some marvellous examples of Chesterfield's graffiti enthusiasts. That's a good one. Love versus lust. That's been there for quite a while. Right, so I'm going to turn this round because you don't want to see my ugly mug, and neither do I, quite frankly. So let me just turn this around. Un momento. There we are, I'm back. So there's Chesterfield Mosque. Holy Trinity Church, priest in charge the Reverend Jill Hancock, and what a lovely lady she is. This is Trinity Church, where George Stephenson, railway pioneer, inventor of the rocket, is buried. He's buried in the church behind the crypt. Now, this rather lovely sculpture here is dedicated to all the children who were buried in unmarked graves in this churchyard. They're unmarked because they died in the Chesterfield poorhouse across the road, which is now flats, and it's raining. It's not the poorhouse. Oh, it's gone. What's it called? It'll come back to me. It's one of the things of age. Suddenly words go out your head and they don't come back for several minutes. So you see, there's not many gravestones here. Workhouse, that's it, Chesterfield Workhouse, which was across the road. Women and children on one side, men on the other. And anybody who died in there, who couldn't afford a funeral, were buried in here. And further up the road, Sheffield Road. This light is always on in the daytime. What a ridiculous waste of money and the Earth's resources. Over here, you'll see these white tiles and that little arch there, where this pile of leaves is, that used to be a toilet. Who knows what dark happenings happened in that toilet. Look at that wall. Isn't that fantastic? That wall. That's the old Chesterfield Grammar School. Would you believe? Founded in 1594. 1594! Wasn't Henry VIII on the throne round about then? Or Elizabeth I? I'm gonna tell everybody. Papa John's. The Barber Brothers. Barbers. Sherlin Street. Don't want to go down Sherlin Street. That's not what I'm looking for. That's nice, isn't it? Little post box. I'd like one of those in my house, in my garden. They're rather nice. With me having used to have worked for the post office. There you are. The Christadelphian Hall, Chesterfield Christadelphian. Sunday breaking of bread at 11 a.m, gospel service 5 p.m. You see, Christianity is alive and well. It's had its rough times over the years. Here I am, walking down the delightfully named Sunny Springs. I mean, what a lovely, wonderful name to call a place, Sunny Springs. Put it on postcards, beer mats, coasters, posters. You know, those sort of colourful posters that says Sunny Springs on them. Sunny Springs. There's a part of me that wouldn't have minded living in a terraced house. I mean, they're solidly built, aren't they? They've lasted. Some of these buildings have still got their outside toilet blocks. And this is the best bit here. Look at these. These would have been outside toilets, or kludges as we like to call them. Kludges. Why don't they have outside toilets anymore? Bring back our outside toilets. We want our outside toilets back. Hello? Look. They've seen some action over the years, haven't they? Eh? Look. Sunny Springs private road. Told you it was Sunny Springs. I'm gonna tell everybody I know I'm moving to Glapwell. I'll get all my goodbyes well out of the way. Now you see this building here? This used to be the Derbyshire Mines Rescue place. This is where the Derbyshire Mines team were housed. You see those double doors are still there with that balcony. But of course, when the pit's closed down, there was no need for a mines rescue. So that now, I think, is luxury apartments coming soon. And they've actually named it Station House in honour of the Mines Rescue Service Midlands District. I mean, that would have been a hell of a job, wouldn't it? Going to rescue miners from pits after explosions, roof collapses and the like. Or miners that just keeled over and died. Now this is a strange abode. I wonder what's going off there. Well, I'm not going to knock on the door and find out. It looks like somebody wants to be left alone, and far be it from me to ruin his self-imposed exile. All that she wants is another baby. Whoa. Now this is Chesterfield College campus. Don't ask me what that building is. There's the sports hall. I used to play badminton in there. This building is the East Block, where young people learn to make staircases out of wood and other building skills. My mum used to work at Chesterfield Art College as a secretary. Nice place. They do the best. Not sure when this building was built. I'm guessing 1950s, 1960s. Brick built. And that bit there, in recent years, that's been clad. Hopefully not in inflammable cladding. If you look up there, there's a stairway that goes all the way from the bottom to the top. Now, if you want to keep fit, that's a good stairway to climb. There is, of course, a lift. You're my wonder wall. Not bad, is it? when I was a young man, that was the nurses' home. Chesterfield Royal Hospital nurses' home. This is the walkway from the college back up to town. These stairs, or what were stairs, went up onto Brewery Street. But of course, the disabled have been catered for with this walkway, the disabled and the hard of hearing. Right, I'm gonna take a left. This is a dual carriageway, the Chesterfield bypass. Part of this used to be a railway line. So they took the railway line up and made this dual carriageway. What I'm stood on now is Brewery Street. Of course, there was a brewery here once, and this has always been a bridge. But this was a bridge that went over the railway. Now, round about here, you could look down onto what is now the dual carriageway, and there was a railway tunnel, which is actually still there. And if you look closely, there is a concrete block, which is actually an air vent for the railway tunnel. Now, if you look on YouTube, young men, and no doubt women, who've been down that, and you can see footage of that. I'm not going down there, too old. I won't be able to climb over the fence. So this bypass sort of dissected this side of Chesterfield. It took some doing. Now, I promised myself in this video that I wouldn't mention the crooked spire, but there it is. You can't avoid it, and why should you? What a marvellous structure that is. This car park is on the site of the Chesterfield Hotel, which was built for the people who came off the railways, the Victorians. It was a lovely building, but sadly it became no longer and it was knocked down. One day, archaeologists will dig up this car park and try and reconstruct, try and find out what happened at the Chesterfield Hotel and what it was. Probably about 100, 200 years' time, if the world still exists, which I'm not entirely sure it will. This building, which is now Spire Insurance Service, was the Midland Railway Engineers Office. Marvellous building. They don't build them like this anymore, do they? These were built to last. Now, the end. This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. Didn't the Doors sing something about the end? Answers on a postcard or in the comments section. The end is nigh. The end. Now this, what I'm on now, this bridge, if you look carefully, this used to be a road which went up into town from the railway station. Well, it still is, but it was actually drivable road. And when they built this bypass, which is essentially to avoid traffic going around the crooked spire and shaking its foundations to its destruction, they built this road. They had to dig out this. It's supposed to be about 60 feet. 60 feet. One night back in the 80s, a drunken fight led to a bloke being thrown off here and killed. I think the perpetrator got done for murder. Might be out now. When I was a kid, this building here, that was a cycle shop. Big advertisement for Coventry Eagle bikes. And I had one of those for Christmas. I loved it. I loved that Coventry Eagle. And the cycle shop, believe it or not, was called Armistead's, and it's now a cocktail bar. This used to be the Clifton Hotel. Weird hotel, because you never saw anybody going in or coming out. Whether it was a brothel or not, I don't know. I think I once saw a Chinese man going in, but I couldn't say for sure. It's a bit Amityville. It was then turned into a bar, which was very popular at the time. And then it became Martha's Vineyard. Now here is the Civic Theatre and the Reference Library, or what's known as Stevenson Memorial Hall. I used to work at Staveley, and I used to get a lift home from my boss. And we were coming up here one day, and who was getting out of a big American car but Diana Dawes. Diana Dawes. She was appearing that night, and I just happened to caught sight of her. So I played a small part in Diana Dawes' life. It's being renovated at the moment. It's taking quite a long time. The Pomegranate Theatre, a lot of well-known actors and actresses started their acting days off in the Pomegranate Theatre when they used to circuit all around the country doing plays. One of them being David McCallum. Anybody who can remember Man from U.N.C.L.E., the TV series with David McCallum, he was the blonde one. He started his acting life here. And the other one, who was the other one? I can't remember his name. He appeared in The Magnificent Seven with Yul Brynner and Steve McQueen. Hey up. Yeah, yo. This road used to go all the way down to Tapton. Double-decker buses used to career down this road, and at the bottom of it there was Willett's Sweet Shop. I'm gonna tell everybody I know I'm moving to Gladwell. Einstein's. If it's those German flavours you're after, Einstein's is the place to go. I'm gonna take my life in my hands. Now then, we come to hello. Now, that there is the winding wheel. In the absence of the Civic Theatre has events. This year we've got Beauty and the Beast, Luke Coombs, whoever he is, Tim Peake, him who went up to the Space Centre, went around the world several hundred times. Must have been quite an experience. Rather him than me though. I'm keeping my feet firmly on the ground. Now when I was a kid, this was the Odeon Cinema. My mum and dad had their wedding reception up there because there was a banqueting suite up there. Over there, that was also part of the arrangement. Now, back in the late 70s, it became a nightclub. Started off being Jingles, and then it went to Fusion. Stuart, who has just retired from the clothes shop over there called Zebra, used to have a record shop, which is now Photogenics, would you believe, called Some Kind of Mushroom. Now, on a Thursday night, Stuart used to book bands. This was just after punk, and would you believe, Simple Minds, The Pretenders, with Chrissy Hynde, No Zero, Punishment of Luxury, The Comsat Angels, and The Cure with Robert Smith, all played up there. Def Leppard. Stuart once showed me his book that he booked them with. He booked Def Leppard for 50 quid. 50 quid. And they used to play on a Thursday night. Now, I'll tell you what I also saw there. Paul Young, when he was with the Q-Tips, and they were brilliant. They were more on the stage. than there were in the audience because it was a dull, dark, cold, wet, misty February night, and there are about 5 of us. What a bit of history there. The Cure, Simple Minds, Punishment of Luxury, Concert Angels, Selector, 9 Below Zero, Def Leppard, all played there for next to nothing. Great night. So that used to be part of the Rock Night, where Stuart would play independent new wave records, Human League, Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark, Simple Minds, the early stuff, the Slits, Sex Pistols. I didn't go to as many as I liked because I wasn't quite old enough, and my parents wouldn't always let me go out. All that we want is another baby. Blonde woman having her nails done looking at me suspiciously. The Bagel Loft. If you've not had a bagel from there, please do. Very nice. Later on in the 80s, this was, what was it called? Do you know, I can't remember. There was a nightclub downstairs, and all those youngsters in our next suits used to go down there every Friday or Saturday night to dance to the latest music, latest disco music. Gwen Guthrie, Ain't Nothing Going On But the Rent, New Shoes, I Can't Wait. Yeah, used to dance to all of that. That shark has been pigeoned. I've got a photograph of that with a pigeon in the mouth. Brilliant photograph, love it. And this was built in 1901. It's not always been a nightclub. I remember when it was a carpet shop, would you believe? I mean, look at the detail. You don't get detail like that anymore, do you? We want our details on our buildings back. We want deep buildings with pride. So here we are at the back of the Crooked Spire. If you look carefully, you'll see all the gravestones from a bygone era have been stacked up. And if you also look here, this grassy area is higher than the path. That's because of all the burials that were undertaken. Delivering beer and wherever else, really. Shouldn't be doing what? Mind your own business. Mind your own business. I'm going to call it a day after that little altercation. And I'm walking down Chesterfield High Street. So that ends my little walk. I'll see you later. Hope you enjoyed that. If not, tell me in the comments section. If you did, tell me in the comments section. Let's have a bit of feedback. Ta-da.